We're not politically correct, we just have common sense.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unfaltering. Show of Support's Hunt for Heroes offers tributes and true stories of remarkable courage.
If these terrorists could come in your bedroom, they'd kill you, your wife, and your kids. And that's what these men are fighting to protect us from, these murdering idiots. And they're taking them out so that we don't have to deal with them over here.
Show of Support started it all just after the shock and awe bound the nation together. Now, years of footage portraying wounded veterans, deer stands, and standing ovations. Hunt for Heroes, that started as one man's way to say thanks, is now a series that many say is way overdue.
This is something I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
It's just a raw emotion.
It's been like a dream. It really has.
We still have 40,000 injured troops. It's going to take a while to get around to all of them, but there's no quitting. It'll never stop as long as I'm breathing.
Every deer hunter in South Texas knows that feeling when a pickup rolls back into camp before the sun has had a chance to break through the morning clouds. There must be something good in the back of that pickup. When hunting guide Christian Hildebrand has a grin as wide as the Rio Grande, then something good has happened out there in the brush. Deer hunter Chris Migliaro has just returned from the best morning of his life.
That's a nice one. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Thanks. It's nice, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, oh, man.
Don't look at me. I don't even talk about it. I was like, he was like, all right, calm down, take a deep breath. Military guys just kind of have this bond, regardless if they know each other, regardless if they're in the same unit, regardless of where they serve, they all have this common bond of, brotherhood. And especially being, our military's been at war for the past 9-10 years now.
When you get all these guys together, they've shared so many similar experiences. Just standing on the sidelines and listening to these guys talk is great because they're not talking about their injuries, they're not talking about what happened, they're having a good time, they're not thinking about anything else.
It's always a tale of nerves, of rattled cages, and something called buck fever. And it's always hard to believe that one man who's seen so much of the horrors of war can push all that aside and let deer hunting be his therapy.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Show of Support organizer Jerry Johnston lives for this one moment. A moment that he gets to share so many times a year.
Oh, on the side of me?
Pick him up.
Can you give me some directions here?
I knew that we would have a great group of gentlemen. We always have.
His head's tilted that way, pull him.
We take a lot of pride in our pictures. We're taking pictures of these guys because a lot of these guys, they won't have their deer from anywhere from 8 months to 12 months. So the only thing that they have to show people is their pictures. So that's why we do individual pictures of all the guys with their deer, and then we do a group picture so that they have a memory of all the guys they're with.
Just being down here at Shiner Ranch and everybody we've met this week, I can't even count the number of people I've met this week. And every single person that's come up to us and said thank you and welcomed us with open arms like we were one of their family members.
South Texas is a land of wide open spaces, and the Shiner Ranch takes up a lot of that territory. It's a whitetail wonderland, covered with thick brush and big skies, of sunsets that send the imagination into overdrive.
But it is a way we can say thanks. The experience that you're going to have this weekend is the true essence of what we're about.
Go ahead, you can sit in that chair right there.
I didn't know what to expect, because every time I talked to Mr. Johnston on the phone, he'd kind of give us vague answers and really didn't give us much to go off of. So it was exciting to kind of figure out what was going to happen when we got down here and what was going to go on.
Each hunter on this show of support hunt is surprised when that brand new rifle and all the gear is delivered to each of them.
I heard about this hunt because one of my fellow soldiers came down here, and he went to a different ranch. He went to a November hunt, and he had a blast. He had so much fun. Came back, told me I needed to sign up, check this out. And that was all, the only details he gave me. He just said, you need to sign up for this Texas hunt, and you'll see why.
All they have to do is bring the clothes on their back, and they won't need that for long. New camo and a backpack full of gear is but little thanks for what these guys have endured.
This is just an easy way and the only way that we can say thanks to you guys for what y'all done for this country, what y'all done
Christian
for us.
Hildebrand, on behalf of the entire family at the Shiner Ranch, delivers his own form of praise for these warriors.
Saying thanks to you guys, having y'all out here. It's a great time, very relaxing, very informal. Every year that we do this hunt, I put out the word to people that we're gonna have some wounded soldiers come out to hunt at the ranch, and everybody pitches in. Everybody wants to do something to provide their time in some way, to provide their resources in some way. It's amazing the community involvement you get when you do something like this, because everybody wanted to do something when I mentioned that we're having the show of support hunt at the Shiner Ranch. People wanted to cook, people wanted to donate gifts, people wanted to just spend time with these guys and talk to these guys and meet them, and I think that's awesome.
Imagine the feeling of taking the first shot from a brand new rifle presented out of pure gratitude. Christian helps Chris get everything shooting dead on before heading out to the blind for the first afternoon hunt.
Inch low, dead on.
Good?
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Now, on this warm, cloudy afternoon in January, Chris Migliaro is about to go after his first whitetail buck ever. The first deer appears on this war veteran's first hunt, as Show of Support's Hunt for Heroes continues. Stay with us.
We'll get him, big guy.
Good luck, guys. We're going to the Remuda.
That's it.
There's nothing like the feeling of taking someone to kill their first deer. It's something that I always remember. It's a family-owned ranch, so I've been out here all my life. Either hunting, fishing, guiding hunts, or working.
Yeah.
I've been guiding hunts out here for about 15 years now. Been hunting for 34 years. Been hunting my entire life. The one thing that I like about guiding is obviously the chase. I think I get more out of it than the hunters do. I enjoy guiding people as opposed to hunting the deer myself.
I always had an interest in hunting, but just never got into it. When I got back from Afghanistan, my wife bought me a bow for my birthday right before archery season started, so I just kind of picked up walking through the woods with my bow, if you can call it that, because I didn't really shoot anything my first season, but I had a lot of fun.
This is a strange sensation for West Point graduate Chris Migliaro, born and raised in Connecticut. Finally settled in a ground blind on the Shiner Ranch, he and his hunting guide / ranch manager, Christian Hildebrand, wait patiently for any movement on this warm, cloudy January post-rut afternoon.
Very excited. Almost couldn't sleep the last couple nights waiting for it to come, so it's been awesome. I hunt because it kind of gives me an outlet, be out by myself, think, vent, and just, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's such an adrenaline rush.
A lot of folks say South Texas is not much to look at. Just about the only thing green is mistletoe. But beneath the twisted mesquite branches there is movement. Women and children have emerged from the brush, and this young 10-pointer takes Chris by surprise. Back in Connecticut, this would be a for sure shooter, and it's hard to keep the hands on the binocs and not grab the rifle. But Christian holds Chris off, promising that things will improve as time passes.
Plus, it's the adrenaline rush when you see one of those big ones come walking out of the woods. It's pretty exciting. What do I like about Texas? There's a lot of open land. Where in Northeast, you're not going to find 6,000, 7,000 acres of open land you can hunt on, chase deer around the woods. You don't find that in the Northeast, so I like how it's open. There's a lot of animals out here, and it's nice and warm, too.
It's times like these when whispered tones fade away, and the only thing moving are the deer. It's here when the mind drifts back, and for Chris Migliaro, his days in Iraq and Afghanistan come flooding back to fill in the blanks of a lazy afternoon.
I first started thinking about joining the military when I was in high school. Sophomore year in high school, I saw a special on the service academies, and I got very interested in the Air Force Academy in West Point. And those are my number 1 and 2 colleges for the next 3 years of high school. And I applied to both several times. I ended up playing extra year junior hockey after I graduated high school, and I got accepted to both. And when it came down to it, I chose West Point because I wanted to fly helicopters instead of flying jets. My first deployment was in September of 2007 to Iraq. Met my unit over there for about the last 4 or 5 months of their rotation. And then it was right after I got out of Ranger School. I was a brand new lieutenant. My job in Iraq, I was a platoon leader, so I was a heavy weapons platoon leader, so I had 26 guys under me. We just went out, did security patrols, did market security, handed out humanitarian aid stuff to the villagers in our Mahala, and just made sure, whatever problems they had, we helped them fix.
After serving in Iraq, Chris safely returned to the States, only to quickly get shifted to the war in Afghanistan. It was there that his luck changed in an instant.
I got wounded in Afghanistan, May 25th, 2010. I had a grenade that was shot of an automatic grenade launcher from the ridge line behind our fob. Landed right next to me when I was walking on my fob. I took shrapnel to the back of my head, got a concussion, shrapnel on my shoulder and my back. The media doesn't show a lot of the amazing stuff soldiers do on a daily basis. The media likes to cover firefights or soldiers getting wounded or guys that die and the death count. But at the same time, our soldiers are over there risking their life to do some amazing stuff. Build schools, bring food and water to villages that have never had, a reliable food source or running water. Build bridges so that people can cross the river instead of having to go, walk an extra 5 miles around the river. Stuff like that you don't see on the news every day, and that's stuff soldiers go out, risk their lives and do every day. No questions asked, and they just put their head down and do what they're told. I think it's unfortunate that news doesn't show that.
I learn something every year. The good stuff that these guys do, they talk about building churches, they talk about rebuilding schools, they talk about giving gifts to children, and you never see any of that on TV. I think that is very good for the public to hear. I think that's something they need to hear.
By this moment, just about time to leave the blind for the evening, a nice mature 8-pointer feeds his way across the opening. Christian is close to giving the green light on this buck, but he holds off. A lack of daylight and a hope for something better in the morning holds Christian back. Chris has examined this buck for all he's worth. He's counted to 8 about 50 times by now, but waits for the word from Christian, which never comes. The buck, unbothered by all the scrutiny, wanders back towards the brush line, where all big bucks disappear, only to leave everyone second-guessing in the blind. The first day of the best hunt ever for one American soldier comes to an end here on the Shiner Ranch.
Your heart starts racing, your hands start shaking. It's an unbelievable rush.
The wait was worth it. A great buck and the shakes to prove it. as Show Us Support Hunt for Heroes continues. Stay with us.
So I was kind of really anxious the next morning. I'm just kind of at peace, just out there enjoying my time. You don't have really a care in the world and just enjoy the outdoors.
The next morning, Army Lieutenant Chris Migliaro and Ranch Manager Christian Hildebrand are greeted by cooler temps and a thick blanket of fog. A typical morning in South Texas during deer season. Then, an image dissolves into the fog that bears more scrutiny. It's a 10-point buck with a kicker off his right G2. And like looking through frosted glasses, the pair study this buck like there's no other living creature on the face of the earth.
It was pretty foggy. We had to wait for the fog to clear just a little bit so we could start making out the deer that were feeding in front of us. When I finally told him that there was a mature deer out there that would be a great deer for him to shoot, you could hear him start breathing pretty heavy.
Your heart starts racing, your hands start shaking. It's an unbelievable rush.
He got his gun up, he was quiet. We waited for a clear shot.
Waiting for a clear shot may be easier said than done. One of those twisted mesquites is blocking a clear shot of the buck's vitals. And a closer look reveals another great buck off to the right. All Chris can do is watch and wait.
Okay, he's moving now.
The buck is moving clear of the mesquites. He finally stops, but he's right on the wrong side of two other bucks. Chris reaches for any remnant of patience he can find. Finally, the buck steps into a bona fide South Texas kill zone.
When I finally gave Chris the green light to shoot his deer, he wasn't real familiar with the safety of his new gun that he got from Show Us Support. So he didn't have the safety all the way off. He was pretty excited, and I told him to take his time and just do a slow, easy squeeze.
Jackhammer.
Man. My heart was racing.
Well done.
Oh, I dropped him.
You dropped him.
Didn't even move. Oh. Man. Oh my God.
After he shot the deer, we could see the deer easily from the blind. And I think he started getting more and more excited as he looked at the deer through those binoculars. We got out of the blind, just approaching the deer, he was jittery. Chris made an outstanding shot. The deer never felt a thing, never took a step, couldn't have worked out better. And he was pretty excited.
It was like this rush of emotion. I had to fight back tears almost, but I was excited, very excited. Had a huge grin from ear to ear. And it felt good, felt really good.
It was a great day. Everything worked out perfectly. The deer didn't take a step. He made a great shot. Just to be with him when he experienced that, knowing that he'll die remembering everything that happened that day, that's pretty special. That's pretty unique. That's why I do what I do.
It's awesome.
What do you think? Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Oh man.
Incredible deer.
Oh yeah. It's a good looking deer. You never realize how big a deer is until you get up to it and you actually touch it, yes. So I mean, when I was walking up to it, I didn't realize how thick his main beams were, and he had a cool little kicker off his G2. So
he was 7?
It was exciting. I got up there and it was really, really exciting.
Yeah. I'm very happy for my first deer. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I've really never hunted with a guide before, so this was definitely been spoiled on my first experience. Christian's probably one of the coolest guys I met. Knows a lot about whitetail, knows a lot about this ranch. I learned a lot this week.
I was blessed with this piece of property, and I feel honored that I could give something that I have to the gentlemen that have given almost everything for us. That's the ultimate satisfaction for me.
He's a great looking buck.
I think I have something that is very unique. The ranch has something that's very unique. We have great habitat, we have great deer. Just to be able to share a little bit of that with those guys means everything to me. It's just another way to show America that these guys they're great guys. They need to be honored for what they did.
All right, congratulations.
Thanks, man. Thanks. It's awesome.
Chris is an awesome guy. He shot his first deer, shot a great deer. He actually ended up shooting 3 deer on this hunt. Each one was a great deer. I hope we spoiled him. That's what we try to do with these guys when they're out here.
This is something I'll never forget for the rest of my life. Definitely will never forget this, and I'm just glad I got to experience this and come down to Texas and spend a couple days here. It's a great place.
If you know of an American warrior longing for a truly unforgettable hunting experience, or for more information on becoming part of Show of Support's Hunt for Heroes, go to our website, showofsupport.org.